Hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to my channel. Wow, how are you all doing? My name is Chineye Chukaipere, your in-between cultures lady. I'm here again to keep sharing my mishaps, my wins as an immigrant in the United States. So I remember when I told the story about how we came to the US and we arrived in the thick of winter. I mentioned in that video that how I wish we arrived at Houston. However, guess what? I am in Houston right now. I came to Houston trying to avoid bad weather, and now we are in the coldest cold front that has ever happened in Houston in a very long time. So many people have experienced what it feels like to be in darkness in Houston. Not just in Houston, in America. You know, in Nigeria, when we were in Nigeria, right? We used to say, hey, we want, how I wish our country had 24 hours light, electricity, right? But we have not, we tend to forget that even without our having electricity, we still have other things. For instance, I just realized whenever there's a blackout in the US, a lot of things go with it. For instance, if they take the light here, tap stops running. Your cooker stops functioning if you have an electric cooker. If you have a gas cooker, the lighter will stop working. Your AC will be off. Now that we reached the sub-zero degrees temperature in Houston, imagine what life is in this situation. Can people survive for days here in Houston, at least in this current temperature, without light? Your heater is off. Think about it, because we have extremes of temperature here. Extremes in the sense that when it's cold, it's very cold. When it's hot, it's actually very hot. I know some summers that we get above 100 degrees centigrade. And then, right, is it centigrade or Fahrenheit? No, centigrade. Then we also experience, okay, hold on, let me not lie here. I'm thinking it's Fahrenheit. Please correct me somewhere in the comments. I had a little brain freeze, but right now our temperature is 2 degrees. Right now, Houston, that we were just a few days ago, we're within 70 degrees. All of a sudden, we're struggling with Alaska, Canada. So what I realize when it comes to temperature is that the difference it makes is not how cold where you are is. It is the sudden drop from one temperature to the other. For instance, if you live in Canada and you've been in the sub-zeros, maybe you're on -20, your body adjusts. Your body has a thermostat that helps you to adjust to that temperature. And also, let us remember, yes, it's -20 outside, but most times we don't remain outside. We get into a building that has heater in it, probably in a public building, or we get into our homes and we have our temperature constantly on to a favorable position that suits human existence, right? However, in our situation in Texas right now, a lot of people have experienced 3 days of blackout, no light. And I hear people on social media saying, okay, cover yourself up. There is no covering that can cover even 30 degrees centigrade or Fahrenheit, whatever it may be. There is no covering that will protect you enough from that kind. You will feel the cold, okay? So why am I making this video? It's just a shout out to our fellow, immigrants and everybody who was actually affected by this blackout. I was just so lucky. I'm off work until probably on Friday. I'll go to work on Friday. So I was just lucky that I was home. And I've been here thinking, how are they managing at work? how is, at least somebody has to be in the pharmacy, during the work hours, come rain, come shine. There's no, oh, the weather is bad today, so I'm going to stay home and the pharmacy will not open. No, you have to figure your way to work. People who may be lucky, I would say lucky, like in the hospital, you can live in the hospital. They will tell you ahead of time to pack your bag so that if the weather wouldn't let you, you sleep in the hospital. But I've never seen like a pharmacy where they made provision for the workers to sleep there. I don't know if it's possible. Let me know in the comments. So this situation, like I told you guys, when we arrived, I was running away from the cold. I discovered that this whole world, there is no paradise on earth at all. You cannot say this thing doesn't do this. No, things we say can change, and we just saw it happen for the weather right now. Please, okay, now we're in the cold season, right? Have you ever thought about if something happens and the light goes off again in the summer in Texas? How do you manage heat? How do you manage that type of heat that Texas usually experiences if they take the light? So what am I saying here is that in Nigeria, we actually had alternatives. When I say alternatives, I mean like light is separate from water. Water is separate from, cooking fuel. If you're using kerosene or gas, it doesn't have any connection to power. And the weather too, you can open up your windows. Here, how the the AC units are set up, it's not favorable to opening up your windows. Why? Because you let in dust that will remain within the house and also clog up your heating and cooling system. So I heard people also on the social media saying they're going to buy generators. When we left Nigeria, we thought we had run away from generators. But now you see, generators are important. A friend of mine mentioned on social media how she heard her neighbor's gen, running during this heat. During this cold front when they were in blackout. And she was like, if this front ends, I'm running straight to go buy myself a generator, even if I pass my neighbor kind, so that we'll know that, man, everything that has an advantage also has a disadvantage. Let me tell you where my fear is. If they take the light and your water goes off. In Niger, we have GP tank. We have butas, Shebina buta. All these drones that you put water inside. Containers for holding water. My question to myself is, if our tap stops running, which container will I put water? During the Hurricane Harvey, it was poured to all the pots in my house. I filled all of them with water. It was so funny that I didn't have one single, all these blue butas that we use to fetch water in the house or fill water. Even, little things that we take for granted that are normal. For instance, now, okay, on social media, I saw somebody trying to warm his food on his grill. He brought his little grill into the house to warm his food, and people were like, be careful of carbon monoxide. Don't we cook inside the house in Nigeria? Our stove, is it not inside the house that we use it? And it will bring out smoke. Even sometimes inside the kitchen, some of us, they use firewood. Why? Because we freely open our windows and we have cross ventilation. Here, the weather cannot be extreme, 100 degrees, and you are opening up window to let smoke to leave your house. You want to kill yourself. As the smoke is leaving, cold is coming. So, just so we know, some things are the reason why people develop to where they are. I think people's struggles actually lead them to what and who they eventually become. So we're praying. I pray that Houston and any other place that experienced this blackout that we used to boast about, because when we boast, oh, even if they take our light in a flash of a minute, it comes back. It didn't happen this time. It was just going and going. So we're praying that the people in authority will please figure out what happened this time, and please let this not repeat. I've already heard about a single mom who died in her car with her child. When I used to live in the cold areas, you know, the notably cold areas, what they used to tell us was, when there's, you know, a situation like this and you don't think your home is safe enough, even before the things, you know, the situation starts, find your way to probably a hotel or a store, you know, something like that. But I thank God that it has never got so bad for us to the point where we actually had to do that. Yeah, so we're lucky too. During this blackout, my area, we actually had light, but we're having, you know, momentary off and on, but they didn't last. So I'm like, please, it dawned on me now that, man, sometimes you may be running away from problem, but you run into it. I think the best thing that any human being should try to do in life is to get used to hard times. Just, you know, fortify yourself and get used to tackling problems instead of running away from them. Okay? Have a blessed day. Bye. I'm going to do the other videos, okay? So see you later. Please subscribe, share. I'm going to also have forums where I bring in people to chat with them about their own experiences, okay? Bye.